Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I want to talk about my no spend rules for the next 6 months and go over my money goals for the next 6 months as well. As I mentioned in a recent video, I do want to do a no spend / low spend 6 months for the final 6 months of 2021. And this is not something new to me. If you don't know, I did a no spend year for 2020 and it was amazing. So it is a little bit difficult, but definitely well worth it. And it helped me I paid off the same amount of debt, but I was able to save over $5,000, which was significant to me. So with that being said, I realized that the first 6 months of 2021 were pretty decent in regards to my finances. I had some things pop up here and there that I did not expect, but I also spent more money than I really wanted to in the personal category. So I realized that I can take control of that, and for the final 6 months of 2021, I want to do a lot better just so I can reach my goals, my money goals, and just feel better about the overall situations. I will link my other videos down below that discuss my no spend year for 2020 and then, the before, the after, the 6 month mark, everything like that. For this video, I am gonna go over what I expect to spend over the next 6 months and where I want to save my money, invest my money, and just my overall goals. If you're struggling with setting rules for yourself when it comes to the no spend year, I think these videos could be helpful for you just so you can get an idea of what you want to spend your money on, because I know that a no spend year does not mean that you do not spend any money whatsoever. There could be things that it's up to you. It's completely personal. So there may be things in your life that are worth paying for. So for example, I'm still going to pay for Spotify next year. I already paid for that for the year, but that was one thing in 2020 that I continued to pay for. I am okay with travel. I booked a trip in 2020 and that is okay with me. I'm okay with experiences. So if a concert pops up, then I will pay for that and go to it. So I'm going to run through the things that I'm expecting to pay, just like I did in my initial video. So let's just start with that. Let me actually start with my income. So for the next 6 months, I'm expecting to make probably about $37,000. This is what I calculated, $37,404 based off of my full-time job and my side hustles. This does not include any other extra cash outside of that, like my cash back, any referrals, which honestly can be pretty significant. So this is probably the minimum, like $37,000 minimum. I did get a raise in June at my full-time job, so that full amount will go into effect in July. So that's $5,134 and some change. But then from my side hustles, I'm expecting $1,000 a month. So if you add that together, I should make at least $37,404. So we'll say about $37,000, but it's probably going to be closer to $40,000. And this doesn't take into account the things like, for example, I am going to likely be getting a refund from the hospital for the first surgery that I paid for, since I overpaid for that. Half of my dog's surgery, I should be getting that coming back to me, which is $1,200. So I'm not taking any of that into account. This is just my income. Now that is pre-tax, so keep that in mind. And for taxes for the next 6 months, I would have to pay about $7,200. So after that's all said and done, it would be like $30,000 for the next 6 months. Keep that in mind. Now for sinking funds, so this is going to count as savings, including my emergency fund. You all know that I have 10 sinking funds. One of them is my emergency fund. I update on these every single month. And I will be increasing this because one of my goals from the beginning of the year actually is to save $6,000 in my emergency fund by the end of 2021. So I do still want to hit that, and I'm going to prioritize that now. Not prioritize it as in I'm only going to be saving toward my emergency fund, but I'm going to increase my contribution or like my savings of $150 a month to my emergency savings up to $600, or maybe even more. What did I say? $700, $667 or something. I don't know. I'll work out the details, but basically right now I'm a little bit under $2,000. So I'm gonna get it up to $2,000 in the month of June, and then get it up to $6,000 by the end of the year for sure. I mean, assuming I don't have to pull from it again. So whatever it takes to get to $6,000 month by month. And I don't want to do like a huge savings right now, because I do have my student loan savings as well, which could kind of act as an emergency fund if absolutely necessary. So I'm assuming about $7,200 toward my sinking funds. My sinking funds do include things like gifts. So gifts are not off limits here. I still will be purchasing birthday gifts and probably Christmas gifts, even though I don't really, for a couple of years now, I've really wanted to just ignore Christmas, but we'll see. And travel is in there, so I'm okay with spending on travel. And the other things are more so like, you know, car insurance and car maintenance, stuff like that, which of course I would have to pay for, but those are in my sinking fund. So I'm expecting $7,200 to also go to saving for my sinking funds. Now, the next thing is my Roth IRA, and I have been putting $150 a month toward that, and I think I'm gonna keep that. So that would be $900 for the next 6 months. I was on the fence about what I wanted to do with my raise because it was a pay increase of $197 a month, which is pretty decent. So I was thinking to do the $150 plus $197 a month. So it would be like over $300, but I think I'll keep it at $150 and just focus on paying off debt. We'll see what happens as the months go on, but as of right now, $900 for the next 6 months. Donating probably about $300. I'm okay with a little bit more than that. I would like, obviously one day I would like to get that way higher, but right now I do choose to prioritize paying off debt and savings. Rent, trash, and pest control, that's about $1,400 a month, so it's gonna run me $8,466 for the next 6 months. That's pretty set, and that just includes those 3 things, but then I have renter's insurance, which will be about $83 for the next 6 months, Wi-Fi, which will be $330, electricity, about $420, water and sewage, about $240. Next would be groceries, and I'm saying I would probably be like $325 every month, so I'm gonna go with $1,950 or maybe like $2,000. Yeah, but probably around somewhere around there. I think in 2020 I spent like $3,500 on groceries, which isn't horrible. And the other thing is I am now purchasing a lot of organic products and even gluten-free lately, which does end up costing me more. So that's probably something, this is for my health, so this is something that I'm okay with spending money on. So about $325 a month, which I think is reasonable. Food out, I'm budgeting like $30 a month or so, so $180 for the next 6 months. Honestly, when I don't really go out to eat very often, especially now with my problems, but when we do go out, we, as in me and my boyfriend, he's typically the one to pay because he also gets like a credit through his job to pay for food and groceries, so it's not even like him paying. So yeah, he usually pays, but sometimes I will, or I'll go out with like my sister or something. Gas for my car, I'm gonna say like $35 a month or so, because I have been driving a little bit more. $210 for the next 6 months, which is great, that's not too bad. I'm gonna come back to student loan savings. If you haven't noticed, or if you're familiar with my videos, then you would know that I'm like going in the order that I have my budget. So next would be my student loan savings, but I'm going to, or just student loans in general, because if everything is still as it is, then the student loan forbearance ends in September, and I'll actually have to pay down debt. So I'll come back to that at the end because you'll see why I'm gonna be like taking the difference of it. Insurance is life insurance, $90 a month, which is $540. Health and beauty, I'm just expecting like $250 per month. Honestly, I don't know, and yeah, my medical bills still haven't come through. I'm not sure about that. I do know like holistic doctors are more expensive, so I've been going to one of those, and I don't know how frequently I'll be going, but I know that adds up. I do want to also probably throw in like a couple of massages, which I do consider health, and I haven't had one in over a year, so I would say about $1,500 for the next 6 months. For my phone, honestly, I don't even know, but probably about $240. Dogs, if you don't know, I have 3 dogs, but they're with my sister. We adopted them together, but she has a house, so she keeps them, and I'm gonna be sending her $600 total for the next 6 months. Fingers crossed that there are no other surgeries with my dogs or any issues. Like, come on, let's knock on wood. Okay, business, I calculated about $726 based off of my spreadsheet from last year for the next 6 months. Personal, I'm gonna say like it should be 0, you know, but I'm gonna say about 100 because at the end of the year, I like to buy like a planner for the next year or a notebook for the next year. Who knows what could pop up? Like, I'm okay with spending you know, like in 2020, if you go back and watch my video, you'll see that I spent like I don't remember. It was less than $200 in unnecessary items, personal items. So I'm okay with spending like $5 on something that I purchase. You know, I'm going to try to avoid that, obviously, but I'm going to say about 100 for 6 months, which I think is reasonable. Now, there may be other things that are like random in there. So for example, in July, I'm going to be enrolling in like a defensive driver's course so I can get a discount on my insurance, car insurance. So that will probably save me more money. Oh, that's another thing I need to, well, that's like in my sinking fund, you know, like my sinking fund is also a lot of spending. So I'll have to pay to renew my license plate. It's like 21 bucks, you know, just random things here and there that will probably go into like a miscellaneous category, or I mean, it would go under like car. So I guess I would pull for sinking funds. But if I add all of that up, what I just went over, then it leaves me a little over $6,000. So like $6,200. So the rest of that ideally would go to my student loans. So that's the plan. That's why I'm looping back to student loan savings and student loan debt, like actually paying it off. Because right now, by the end of June, I'll probably have about $4,000 saved, and then I can probably save an additional $6,000 total for the next 6 months for that. And yeah, so that's like $1,000 a month for that. And this is part of that is I need to beef up my emergency fund again and get that to $6,000. My goal was to pay off all of my debt this year, and that could still happen. Like, we still have a solid 6 months, but you know, as of right now, it just looks like it will be about $10,000 that I'll be able to pay off, get down to $26,000 total in student loan debt, which is pretty decent. But I would love to see a zero and pay off all my debt. But yeah, that's just what I'm expecting as of right now. And that would basically be like a zero-based budget. This, like I said, this doesn't include cash back. And I usually make like over $200 in extra income outside of my online business. And hopefully I can also increase my side hustle income, because that would help significantly. So who knows where this will go, but that's kind of my plan of where I'll be spending money. I honestly feel pretty excited about it. I added up my savings, my savings for my student loans or paying down my student loans, plus the sinking funds, plus my Roth IRA, and that's over $14,000, $14,100 that I would be putting towards savings / investments, which I think is really good for 6 months considering everything that I pay for. And similar to going into 2020, I'm in a really good headspace to do this. So if you're somebody who feels restricted or bad about doing a no spend, low spend 6 months or 1 month or 1 year, whatever it is that you're thinking about doing along with me, then this may not be for you. Like, if you feel really stressed about it, then it may not be for you. It's something that I am okay with. And I talked about this in my recent video and my original video, but I feel very content with all the things that I have. I have more than enough, and I purchased the things that I really, really wanted, and obviously some more stuff that I absolutely didn't need. So I'm good. I know for 6 months I do not need any more things, and I am excited to take on this challenge. When you do this, in my opinion, it's actually quite easy. So you just know in the back of your head that you're doing this. So when you go out shopping, you just don't buy those things. Like, I guess it's a lot easier to have a YouTube channel watching you do this too, to hold me accountable, but it's something that should be in the back of your head and help you along your journey with this. So I do recommend trying it if you haven't done it before and you're thinking about it. And make sure you set some goals with it too, because I think that makes it more exciting. Like, I'm super excited to get my emergency fund up to $6,000. I can at least get to $10,000 in my student loan savings, my student loan debt. And like, just thinking of that number is very promising. Like, I've never had so much cash before, so it will be pretty cool to see. And my net worth is gonna increase, so it's gonna be pretty amazing to go through it and just know that I'm doing the right thing for me, especially right now. So those are my goals: $6,000 emergency fund, at least $10,000 down on my student loan debt, or, best case scenario, I get it down to zero if I somehow go viral on YouTube and my channel explodes and I get like $5,000 a month from here, or I get a different job or something and I get a significant pay increase. But I'm just gonna take it day by day. That's all you can do with this. The other thing is my net worth. Right now my net worth is like, I don't know, I'd have to add it back up for June. It's probably like -14, so it did go down again from May to June. I think by September I can hit zero, a net worth of zero, which is gonna be huge. I don't know, I feel like that's such a huge thing, because then the next step is $100,000, and I'm just really excited to document that and see how long it takes me to go from zero to 100,000, because you know they say the first 100,000 is the hardest. So my goal is to get a net worth of zero by September, sometime in September. I would also love to get this channel to like 10,000 subscribers. That would be pretty cool. Since I got to 5,000 this year pretty quickly, then I think I could maybe get to 10,000, but you guys know how I feel about that. Like the subscriber count doesn't really matter. It's just a number I like to mention and put out there. Yeah, so 10,000 would be awesome. I remember somebody said maybe I can say get to $10,000 saved, 10,000 subscribers in the 10th month, so by October. So that would be really cool. So please feel free to share my channel if it's helpful to you at all. Yeah, I'm just feeling really excited about this, honestly. There's some stuff that I have around the house that I need to post for sale, and I need to just knock that off my to-do list, because it feels really good to be able to post those things and then sell them, put that money toward my goals, and just be able to track that. Of course, you guys will be seeing an update every month, and I will be showing my spending. I obviously am very transparent and show every single penny that I spend. So if I break any rules, I will 100% tell you. And if I don't break any, obviously that will be in my monthly updates as well. Like I said, if you're thinking about doing this, it is highly customizable. Do what it is that makes you feel comfortable. Maybe you just want to do a low spend, so you still budget a little bit for personal spending, but just really be sure to try and stick under that budget, because that's what was becoming a problem for me. Not a problem, but it was just becoming a pattern where each month I kept going over budget in the personal category, and I don't want to keep doing that. So this is perfect timing for me, and just make it work for you. Whatever it is that you're doing, you're probably going to be benefiting your finances, even if you just cut back in a few areas. So just take it day by day and go from there. But comment down below if you're gonna be joining me on this. I saw quite a few people in the comments say that they would be, and feel free to comment what it is that, you know, what your money goals are for the next 6 months, and what you want to spend your money on, what you absolutely will not be spending money on. So for me, like a big no is clothes. Like I won't be buying clothes, or not that I ever buy them, like accessories. Any material things I really won't be purchasing, but you guys, you know, you get the idea. About $100 for 6 months is what I'm okay with. But yeah, that is it. I'm looking forward to this. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.